Kenyans are living under a shadow of fear where lives are lost every other day. Albert Omondi Ojwang was a son, a teacher, a father, and a voice for change. He has left a story marked by courage, tragedy, and a nation's cry for justice. He was born in 1994 in Kokoth Village, Homa Bay County. Albert grew up in a quiet place where the Luo community has thrived amid its rolling hills and Lake Victoria's breeze. His parents, Meshach Ojwang Opio and Yukabeth Adhiambo Ojwang, had poured their hearts into raising their only child. Meshach, having worked as a quarry worker, had toiled for over 20 years to fund Albert's education, having dreamed his son would lift their family from hardship. Albert's hard work had shown. Having graduated from Pwani University, he became a Kiswahili and religious studies teacher in Voi, a coastal town in Kenya, which was far from home. By 2025, aged 31, he was a respected educator and a social media influencer. He used platforms like X to speak against corruption and injustice. His posts were sharp, witty, and fearless, and had earned him a loyal following. Albert was more than a voice online. He was married to Nevnin Onyango and they had a child. Just a month before his death, Albert had shared a video on X, having beamed with pride as a new father. On June 6, 2025, Albert's world shattered. He was visiting his parents in Kokoth Village. He was enjoying lunch with Nevnin and their daughter. At 1:30 p.m., 6 police officers stormed the compound. 3 motorcycles roared in and officers had surrounded the home. Yukabeth pleaded with them, but to no avail. The officers came from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations and accused Albert of false publication of a social media post. The complaint having come from the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Eliud Lagat. He claimed Albert's post had tarnished his name. The post was alleging Lagat had collected 100 million Kenyan shillings in monthly bribes. Albert was calm and cooperative and he believed in the rule of law. They took him to Mawego police station. At Mawego, the officers seized Albert's phone and denied his family access to arrest documents. They assured them that he's safe, that Nairobi is cold and they should bring him a sweater. But instead of having booked him locally, they had loaded Albert into a dark vehicle with private plates and had driven him 350 kilometers to Nairobi's Central Police Station. His family had no idea this would be the last time they would see him alive. Having arrived at Central Police Station on Saturday evening, June 7th, Albert was dead by 2 a.m. Sunday, June 8th. Police claimed that he had hit his head against a cell wall and had died by suicide. They had said he had been found unconscious during a routine check and had been rushed to Mbagathi Hospital, where he had been pronounced dead, but the story did not add up. On June 9th, an autopsy was done by 5 pathologists led by Dr. Bernard Midia. It revealed the truth. Albert had died from blunt force trauma to the head, neck compression, and multiple injuries across his body. His head was swollen and he had bruises and scratches indicating a struggle. This was not suicide. It was murder. Albert's death has sparked nationwide outrage. On June 9th, activists protested outside Nairobi City Mortuary. Then they marched to Central Police Station. Hashtags like #JusticeForAlbertOjwang have trended on X. Kenyans, from taxi drivers to fruit vendors, are demanding accountability. Inspector General Douglas Kanja has interdicted 5 officers, including the officer commanding station, but has refused to name them. Faith Odhiambo, president of the Law Society of Kenya, has called Albert's death an extrajudicial execution and has demanded the officers' identities. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority has launched an inquiry, but many Kenyans, having been scarred by past impunity, have doubted justice would come. Amnesty International and the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights have demanded transparency, having called Albert's death a sign of deeper rot in the police force. Albert's death is not isolated. It has been part of a growing wave of state violence against Kenyan youth, especially Gen Z activists having used digital platforms to fight corruption. In 2024, protesters were killed and abducted during the finance bill demonstrations. Albert, having been like them, was targeted for having spoken truth to power. Kenyans have fought back. Activists like Boniface Mwangi and Hussein Khalid have rallied for police reform, having used social media to amplify Albert's story. Albert Ojwang's blood, having cried out from a cold cell in Nairobi, demands justice. His death must be the turning point. Kenyans have demanded a nation where no one fears speaking out, where police serve, not slaughter. Join the fight. Share Albert's story. This is for Albert, for his daughter, for every Kenyan having dreamed of a free tomorrow. Enough is enough. Please like, share, subscribe, and see you very soon.